What if the greatest secret in human history was never meant to be discovered? What if the last man to walk on the moon brought something back with him? Something we were never meant to encounter. Welcome to Untold Whispers, where we dive into the stories that defy explanation and make you question everything you thought you knew. Today, we uncover the chilling tale of a moon mission that wasn't just humanity's last step on the lunar surface, but perhaps our first step into something far more sinister. December 1972. The world tuned in to witness the final chapter of the Apollo program, Apollo 17. Astronauts Eugene Cernan and Harrison Schmitt descended to the moon's surface while Ron Evans orbited above in the command module. For the public, it was a historic farewell to lunar exploration, a moment that marked the end of an era. But behind closed doors, whispers of a different kind of farewell began to circulate. Cernan, the last man to step off the moon, left behind a plaque that read, "We leave as we came, and God willing, we shall return." But what he brought back wasn't just lunar rocks and scientific data. In the months that followed Apollo 17's return, Cernan's demeanor shifted. Colleagues and close friends described him as distracted, restless, and often lost in thought. But the most alarming change was his cryptic statements during interviews. In one infamous exchange, when asked about life beyond Earth, he hesitated and replied, "Sometimes, I think we've been watched for a very long time." At first, these comments were dismissed as poetic musings. After all, the vastness of space has a way of making even the most logical minds ponder the unknown. But then, strange things began to happen. Cernan started to report unexplainable phenomena. It began subtly: a flicker of lights in his home, electronics malfunctioning, and distorted radio signals late at night. His wife claimed he often woke up in the middle of the night, drenched in sweat, muttering about shadows and shapes that didn't belong in this world. And then there was the journal. Cernan kept a private log of his experiences, a habit from his days as an astronaut. But this particular journal, found years later, revealed chilling entries. One described an encounter during his moonwalk, something he never reported to NASA. "There was a sound," he wrote, "not mechanical, not natural, a low hum, almost alive, like it was observing us. And then I saw it, a glint in the distance, too precise, too deliberate. It wasn't human, it wasn't ours." When he attempted to speak out, government officials were quick to intervene. NASA publicly discredited his claims, dismissing them as the result of stress and sleep deprivation. But Cernan wasn't alone. Unconfirmed reports suggest that other Apollo astronauts experienced similar phenomena, unexplained sightings, a presence they couldn't describe, and vivid nightmares upon returning to Earth. Documents later declassified hinted at suppressed transmissions between the lunar module and mission control. Some allege that during one such transmission, Cernan described seeing structures on the moon, unnatural formations that suggested intelligence. "We aren't the first ones here," a fragment of the transcript reportedly read. "There's something watching us." As Cernan pushed harder to share his story, the strange occurrences around him intensified. Neighbors reported seeing shadowy figures outside his home, and his car was found tampered with on multiple occasions. Friends who tried to support him began to experience their own brushes with the unexplained. Unusual phone calls, missing documents, and ominous warnings to stay away. One friend, an engineer who worked with Cernan, claimed to have received an anonymous note. It simply read, "What he saw was never meant to return." "Keep silent, or it will find you too." Then came the most chilling incident. Cernan's daughter later recounted a night when he awoke in terror, claiming something was inside their home. He described a shadow-like figure, tall and faceless, standing at the foot of his bed. Within moments, it vanished. What followed was even more disturbing. Surveillance footage from his property, obtained years later, shows a faint distortion, a ripple in the air, just before the cameras cut to static. Experts who analyzed the footage called it inconclusive, but those close to Cernan were convinced something had followed him back from the moon. But what was it? An extraterrestrial being? A supernatural force? Or perhaps something even more terrifying, an ancient intelligence, dormant on the moon, now awakened by humanity's intrusion? Cernan's story is not an isolated one. Over the decades, other astronauts have hinted at similar encounters. Buzz Aldrin, for example, once spoke cryptically about an unidentified object that followed Apollo 11. And Edgar Mitchell, a staunch believer in extraterrestrial life, claimed that NASA had long been aware of a non-human presence in our solar system. Could it be that the moon, our closest celestial neighbor, is more than just a barren wasteland of rock and dust? Cernan passed away in 2017, taking many of his secrets to the grave. But his story, his warnings, linger on. As we prepare to return to the moon with new missions, one question remains. Are we ready for what's out there? Or are we simply waking something that should remain undisturbed? Thank you for joining us on Untold Whispers. If you found this story as chilling as we did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more untold mysteries. Until next time, keep your eyes on the skies, and remember, some whispers are better left unheard.